Welcome back, friends. This is your boy Eddie with Joe's Gaming and Electronics, bringing you yet another highly requested video. Today I'll be showing you guys how to replace the power switch on your Bose QC35. This will both work for the first generation and second. Today I'll be working on the second with that button. If yours doesn't have that button, same exact process. To get started, we're going to need a couple things, such as the replacement switch itself. We do sell these on our website. And we're going to need a couple tools. I'll be using this toolkit. We do sell this whole kit on our website. Look at that, beautiful. Pops out. You have all the tools you'll ever need, almost. But most of the tools that you'll ever need for most repairs are all right here. You have like every bit, they're all labeled beautifully. You got some sick nasty tweezers, which we'll be using, as well as the screwdriver and plenty of bits. Today we'll be using Phillips, so I'll grab this Phillips bit here, put that to the side, and let's get started. We're gonna go ahead and flip these over. Again, any parts or tools you see me use, links below for that. If you don't feel comfortable doing this repair, send it in, and one of our techs will gladly help you out. Give us a call, leave a comment down below if you need help. We're here to help you guys succeed. Now, let's get started. Right side, go ahead, pop this ear pad off simply by getting under there, kind of pulling it back and out. Put that to the side. Now this little mesh right here is going to be held on by two pieces of double-sided tape, both here and here. So you just pop under there and then just carefully get under and just kind of pry up, just like so. Same goes for this other side. Sometimes it helps to get some in there, just so you're not removing the foam, but the tape itself. Otherwise you just rip the foam off. We do sell replacement pads and meshes, so if you do rip this or whatever, or you have just little crusty pads, links below, you know what I'm saying? Hit the website, we got you. So we'll go ahead and grab our Phillips and take these two screws out. There's usually three. For some reason this unit's missing one. Beautiful. And just go ahead and pull those out. These are magnetized. If you're working on a silver unit, they're not magnetized. So what you can do is just grab your tweezers, grab that bolt or that screw, and just pull it right out. Now, go ahead, flip this over, and then this should pop right off. Sometimes they are kind of almost clipped in there. So what you can do is grab a pry tool in there, a plastic one of course, in between this plastic and metal, and just kind of get in there and pry up, and it'll pop right out for you. Sweet. Now I'm going to remove the board just because we'll be using heat and I wouldn't want to melt any of the plastic surrounding here. So we'll start off taking the power switch off, the little plastic piece, pull this rubber out, and then this rubber off as well. Now what we're going to do is unplug this ribbon from the board itself. You just do that with your nail. Just simply pop that off. Sometimes this glue will be a bit stubborn, so what you can do is grab a flathead or your tweezers and kind of carefully break that glue and like cut it in half, and then it'll pop right out for you. Just pull up, disconnect. Now we're gonna have to unsolder these four wires here, so go ahead and get your iron hot, and I like to add a little flux. Oh, sorry about that. Gotta pop that solder tip all the way in. There we go. I like to add some flux on my on the areas I will be soldering. It'll just give it a cleaner job, basically. A little bit goes a long way. And grab your tweezers, grab a wire, or you can just grab this whole thing and just pop that off. And then here, these two, we just simply pop those off. Beautiful. Now we're gonna have two Phillips screws here and here. So go ahead and unscrew those. Place those to the side. These will be shorter than the ones previously taken out. But once you pop those out, now you're gonna have a clip right under here, clipped into a clip, I guess. So you could just pry the board up carefully off the switch, and then carefully just pull up, give it a little wiggle. Sometimes it'll help if you have a pry tool to pry underneath, but I'll just show you without one that is possible, just to kind of pop up. And then there's that clip I was talking about. So you just gotta kind of pry up and kind of out at the same time, so it's not getting caught up around any of those kind of guides it's in, the pins. So we could go ahead, place your headphones to the side for now. And this, you don't need this tool. It's called it's a little vise, but it certainly helps. So I'll just go ahead, close that up, and it'll hold the board for us, right? And I'll be using a heat gun, and I'll be using pretty high heat. I'll go 500 degrees, just to kind of take this off real quick. Again, add flux. You're gonna have 8 legs, 4 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So to each leg, add some flux, and it'll just help for it to come off cleaner. Flux is your friend, remember that. Beautiful. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and grab a heat gun. Give her some power. Perfect. I got the setting set. Out of 120 airflow, I have it set at 85 and 500 degrees. So what we'll do is just kind of heat up the flux so it gets where we need it. Here. And we just kind of heat up the port, working both sides. And I'll use my tweezers to grab that, and don't pull until it's loose. You don't want to pull it too early, because then you can damage the pads and you have to replace your board. So just be patient, heat around, back and forth. If you see the plastic melting, don't fear, because you are replacing this, so it's of no use to you either way, right? So to the side. And you'll see it getting loose, and then once it's loose, it'll literally come right off. And as you can see here, I'll put that down for you guys. I'll show you on the close-up cam there. You see solder on all of those 4 points here, and we didn't pull any of the tabs up, saving the board, and again making this repair possible. Grab our new switch here, pull that plastic cover off. Drop it down. And now what I like to do is grab our soldering iron and some flux, and then just kind of clean these points up, get them kind of flattened down. I'll grab a little bit of solder tin, and then just add to them, giving it a nice even surface to put our new port on. And then what I like to do is go on the port itself and then kind of get some solder tin on that, just to help kind of have it, it almost helps with like adhering, you know what I'm saying? Beautiful. Just like so. Won't be perfect, that's right, because we'll go ahead, add a little bit more flux. Remember, flux is friend. It'll give you a nice, strong, and just beautiful connection. Now, make sure we orient the switch the correct way, so that the spring is going to be obviously out. I'm sure you guys will be able to figure that out, but for reference, you're going to have the board facing down towards you, and then you'll have the word C and K visible reading left to right. And now, so that we don't damage the plastic, we're just gonna use our soldering iron to go ahead and reconnect that point. You'll have 2 of those plastic dowels that will seat it in place, and then you just apply a little bit of pressure and go ahead and just 2 points at a time. It'll kind of seat itself, and then work around until you get it seated nice and evenly. And this way you get a nice and beautiful connection using that soldering iron. Beautiful. Just kind of work your way around until it sits nice and flush. That's what we like to see. You know what I'm saying, fellas, ladies and gentlemen? Oh yeah, you will see that solder get nice and shiny. That soldering tin. And then you see it. And you could grab a little bit more. If you see like this one a little bit, you can see it's not really, doesn't have too much. And then you add to it and just give it a beautiful connection. Now once we've done that, make sure our switch works. Beautiful. Make sure it's seated flat. It's looking pretty good there for me. And now what we do is reassemble. Simple as that. Go ahead and pop it out of our vise. Get a little sticky there. There we go. Go ahead and grab our headphones. Slide it in like so. Kind of pull the speaker cable back. Slide it in so that these 2 wires are kind of pointing, and then you'll align it. The easiest way to do this is kind of pop that clip in place. You'll see that little dowel align, and then push down, and you'll be set. We'll have our 2 Phillips screws to put back on. Here and here. Go ahead and put this clip back in. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna go ahead and solder these 4 wires. For this black and white, the white will be negative, and on the board you'll see a little negative there, and then the black will be positive. You see a little plus there. If you're not getting a solid connection, feel free to add flux. I have some flux from earlier, so it's looking pretty good for me. And then here, you'll have again a plus on the right and a negative, a minus on the left. Red will be plus, and then that copper wire will be your negative. And you want to do your best to not inhale any of these fumes. Hopefully you guys at home are using some lead-free solder tin. Add a little flux just because I want to make sure those connections are looking good. Beautiful. Now we're going to go ahead, put our rubber pieces back like so. Just kind of slide that little nib underneath, pop into place. This one you'll have a little notch to line up with this notch. See that? Then it'll pop right in place down. And then our power switch will go down into place. Beautiful. Now we test. Beautiful. Oh, there we go. Pop this cover back on. Seats nicely. Go over here. And we'll have our 3 screws to put back into place. This one has 2 for some reason. So I'll just go ahead. I don't have the third screw with me, but off camera I'll grab a third one and just add it to it. For the purpose of this video, we'll use the 2 that were provided. Beautiful. You don't need a lot of force there. Now, go ahead and put this back. Sometimes you could reuse this old tape. What I usually like to do, this is actually pretty sticky, but I'll take this off. And just kind of careful. You might rip a little bit of, you will take a little bit of foam with it, but if you do it carefully, you won't lose too much foam there. Or if yours are pretty like, you know, trashed and kind of gross, you can just get new ones. We do sell these with ear pads, so get you right. And then I have some double-sided tape, and I'll just cut 2 strips to length, and then add them here and here. And the length doesn't have to be perfect. You'll just see where that old kind of glue was, or residue is. Put it on that, kind of rub it in so it sticks nicely. And then this one will go right here. And then just rub it a little so it sticks down beautifully. What we could do is grab our tweezers, pull that backing off. Beautiful. Now we align this. The way I like to do this is kind of match this one up straight and then kind of follows that ring here. Press down and then push that one down, press it in. Grab our ear pad. I like to line it up beforehand. You kind of line the ring up, sit in place. What you do is pop it underneath that one tab and then just work around. Kind of go into each tab and then just pushing that ring down and it'll pop. You hear all these little clicks as it pops into place. Nice and easy. Nothing to it, just to do it. You know what I'm saying, friends? Bam! Just like that, you've replaced a power switch on your Bose QC35. Now they're functioning great, they're feeling great, they're looking great, you feel great, I feel great, everyone's happy, everyone's satisfied. You know what I'm saying? Again, if you don't feel comfortable doing this repair yourself, send it in to us. We'll gladly do the repair for you. As well as if you want to do the repair yourself and you need some parts or tools, anything you've seen me use in this video, we sell plus more. You know what I'm saying? You got some other electronics you're repairing? Send them our way. Again, this toolkit, phenomenal thing to have. I use this every single day. Granted, I do repair electronics for a living, but if you kind of see yourself doing more than one repair, I would suggest investing in this kit. Just because you got the tweezers, you got plenty of screwdrivers just to even use at home. Say your wife is like, hey, I need you to fix the controller for the TV. It's not working. You're like, well shoot, I don't have a little Torx bit. Guess what? You do, because you bought this kit. Bam, your wife's happy, you're happy, everyone's happy. You're back to watching TV and you feel great. And you got a couple brownie points with the wife, you know what I'm saying? That's just an example. I don't know, your mileage may vary, but that's something to consider. If you need any of the parts, again, links below. You have a question, leave a comment. We do our best to reply to every comment. So just slap a comment down below, we'll reply. If you liked it, thumbs up, baby. If you didn't, dislike, but tell us why so we can improve. Again, thanks for watching. This has been your host, Eddie, with Joe's Gaming Electronics. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you were able to repair your electronics, and hope you have a phenomenal rest of your day, evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it may be. Happy Friday, happy weekend. It's not even Friday, but everyone loves Fridays, so I'm hoping you're watching this on a Friday. Thanks again. Love you guys. Hope you love me. I'm just playing, but peace out. Thanks for watching.